In the summer of 2006, a bold new program was launched in Indianapolis. After years of study, planning, and organizing, and successful efforts to recreate our downtown as a clean, vibrant urban center, it was time to start rebuilding the rest of our city, one neighborhood at a time. The program was the Great Indy Neighborhoods Initiatives, GINI. It was an organized effort to re-energize traditional community development by engaging neighbors at the grassroots level to set unique, comprehensive visions for lasting change from the bottom up.
We are a community that is blessed with a lot of resources, but we haven't been coordinating those resources at the scale that GINI was able to do. And I really credit Local Initiative Support Corporation with being willing to take that step and say, we're going to think big about how all these resources that are here, how can we take them, harness them into a commonly shared goal and implement this broadly across the community in different kinds of neighborhoods.
GINI worked with 6 neighborhoods by helping neighbors envision what they wanted to become, then create quality of life plans to serve as roadmaps for their future. GINI helped convene diverse groups within neighborhoods so that each neighborhood's vision was rich and inclusive, yet action-oriented and rooted in the assets of existing local partners.
One of the most critical elements of neighborhood work is how do we find stakeholders that have a link to a neighborhood that will commit and be dedicated to implementing strategies that will improve its look, its quality of life, where they work, where you play. GINI was able to bring about a great range of stakeholders and partners, and that to me was a very strong strength with this program.
GINI advanced the idea that community development was more than bricks and sticks. It required attention to education, art, public safety, commerce, the environment, a holistic approach to neighborhood living. Each quality of life plan was formed around 11 principles of healthy neighborhoods, created through public input. GINI helped neighbors address challenges using strategies based on current assets and exciting opportunities for change, and connected neighborhoods with funders to help them turn their visions into reality. In less than 2 years since the individual plans were completed, GINI has already leveraged more than $33 million in investment in its 6 demonstration neighborhoods. GINI also successfully partnered with local businesses and other organizations for funding. In all, 18 local donors contributed $1.6 million to GINI's $2.4 million budget. Most important, GINI showed an entire city the power of what can happen when neighbors come together with a unified vision for the greater good, making their neighborhoods better places to live, work, visit, and raise families. GINI's goal was to help neighborhoods go from good to great. It's working in ways we never imagined possible. In May 2008, it was announced that Super Bowl 46 would be held in Indianapolis in 2012. An extraordinary first for the city, it meant so much more than hosting a football game. The Super Bowl will bring millions of dollars in economic investment to Indianapolis, not to mention untold media exposure and an opportunity to showcase the city to a global audience. And the Super Bowl bid committee wanted to make sure it made a meaningful and lasting difference in the lives of its residents. Armed with 6 newly minted quality of life plans, LISC pitched the adoption of one GINI neighborhood's development vision as the Super Bowl's legacy. The bid committee eventually embraced this concept and selected implementation of the East Side GINI plan as its legacy project. In conjunction with the Great Indy Neighborhoods Initiatives, the bid team set its sights on the city's Near East Side for a civic legacy project that would transform the community.
It seemed like kind of a harebrained idea. What's the Super Bowl got to do with the development of a neighborhood? But the more we looked into it, the more impressed we were with the quality of the work, particularly the strategic planning work of the GINI neighborhood. So we poured through the 6 quality of life plans that had been created, met with the leadership that had achieved the development of those plans, and finally came to the conclusion that it could work. And It is only because of the groundwork that had been laid through the GINI initiative and the planning work and the community mobilization work that had gone before the Super Bowl was a reality in Indianapolis that we could imagine partnering with the neighborhood.
The Near East Side is a proud but economically depressed area, populated primarily by low-income families. For years, the neighborhood has suffered from a deepening housing crisis. At the time the Super Bowl bid was won, approximately 30% of the homes on the Near East Side were vacant, abandoned, or foreclosed. The Civic Legacy Project is working to reverse that trend with Super Bowl Legacy Housing, Inc., a committee focusing on transforming 300 housing units in the neighborhood. The goal is to create a mixed-income neighborhood of choice, where home ownership is the norm, but existing residents are encouraged to remain. The Civic Legacy Project is also addressing other economic and social issues in the area, focusing on the East 10th Street corridor, which serves as the Near East Side's main street. The goal is to bring new life to East 10th Street with mixed-use areas, including the new Legacy Square that will serve as a civic and cultural gathering place for the entire community. The Legacy Project is also creating a new, dynamic gathering place for neighborhood youth and adults. This unique space, which will be located on the East Side's Arsenal Technical High School campus, will initially be used as the practice facility for the NFC Super Bowl team. After the Super Bowl, it will have two uses. One as a community recreation facility, another as a state-of-the-art practice complex for Arsenal Technical High School student athletes. Individually, these projects will bring much-needed resources to a challenged area and will accelerate the quality of life vision of the neighborhood.